Hey guys, so well we've covered a lot of stuff in the last couple of videos, but now it's time. We've actually reached that point in the process in the build up to FEB, the Fitness Entrepreneur Bootcamp 2013, where we basically decide that it's time to either step up or step off and decide whether FEB 2013 is going to be the catalyst for your best year yet or not. Okay, I mean, look, we could do the whole, super duper salesy bit and all the rest of it, but only you know whether you want this year to be a fantastic year for you. Only you know whether this is the year that you're willing to, I guess, make the change from working hard to working smart. Okay, I think that's the best way I could describe this. Making the difference between working hard, because most people work bloody hard. Most of the people that I've worked with and coached over years work bloody hard as fitness professionals, and yet they're not getting anywhere near as much of a result out of their lives as they possibly could be. So I'm wondering if this is going to be the year where you start to work really smart. Okay, that's not to say this is all like a super pushy kind of buy my shit kind of thing, but I guess in some ways it is, right? I guess now is the time, at this point in the video series that we've sent across for you, to decide whether to buy the shit that John Latok and I are actually laying down in May this year. And we're laying down some pretty good shit. There's no getting around it. The program that we've put together for you is vastly different to anything that's ever been put together for any Fitness Entrepreneur Bootcamp or any other fitness marketing event, and that's saying a lot. So as good as all the previous FEB programs were, this one's going to be very different, and I think I've said very probably about 20-30 times just there, right? So that means it's definitely going to be very very different, right? So the aim of this particular program, the aim of this one, is not to give you a ton of information. Right, we're not looking for you to kind of leave FEB on a Sunday night with, kind of reams and reams and reams of notes, and kind of, you get home and you sit down and you try and figure out what the hell you're supposed to do with all of it. We don't really care about that, to be quite honest, right? Because most of the people that John and I work with are literally drowning in information at the moment. There is information coming at them from all over the place, right? Both the free stuff that you get on everyone's blogs and all the different gurus that they may happen to be following. Then you've got all the paid stuff, like all the different fitness marketing books and the other kinds of marketing books that people are buying on Amazon and not really even getting through. Then you've got the various coaching programs and mentorships and everything else, right? There's lots and lots and lots of stuff out there. There's tons of information and people are literally just drowning in it. But what we found is that they may be drowning in information, but they're really thirsting for knowledge, right? It's like they're kind of crawling across the desert saying, yes, that's more and more and more information, great, but what the bloody hell are we supposed to do with it? Okay, how are we supposed to convert what you're telling us about attracting clients and systematizing our businesses and all the rest of it? What are we supposed to do about this? Okay, what the hell are we supposed to do about it? Most people haven't got a clue. They don't really know, and unfortunately most fitness marketing events, they leave people even more clueless. What ends up happening is that they go away with their reams of notebooks, and a week passes and 2 weeks pass when they suddenly find that actually, there was some good shit in that event. There was some really good stuff. I'm certain that every event, I'm not just talking about the ones that myself and John do, or, that it's not just a case of other people's events are crap and ours are so great. That's not true at all. I think there are some fantastic events out there, but unfortunately, no matter whose event it is, there always tends to be a case of you end up leaving with reams of notes and not really being sure what you're supposed to do with them. Okay, or getting yourself caught back into that kind of trap of, even though you have notes, you are never really getting around to taking care of them, never getting around to actually utilizing them in your business. So instead of a strategic approach, you end up with a completely tactical approach. It's like a kind of taking pot shots at lots and lots of different ideas and wondering why they're all crap. And then you start to doubt the various people that taught them to you, and you say, oh, I wonder if this person was taking me for a ride. I wonder if they're talking crap, and yet, again, I assure you, I think pretty much everyone out there who's teaching fitness marketing stuff knows what they're on about. They're all making sense, okay? But there's a big difference between being given tactical advice and being given strategic advice. And what I believe is happening quite a lot is that most people are getting caught up in the tactics, right? Here's another way that you can get the phone to ring. Here's another way that you can get a consult in front of you. Here's another way that you can get a deal of the day thing happening or whatever, right? There's a massive difference between tactics and strategy. Strategy is actually laying all the ground out ahead of you and saying, what do we want the finished picture to look like? Okay, and most of the fitness marketers out there, unfortunately, are brilliant tacticians, but they're not particularly great strategists. And the reason they're not particularly great strategists is because they generally tend to be opportunists. They're looking for opportunities, and we've all been taught that we should be opportunity seekers, right? But that's not necessarily true when it comes to building a great business. Yes, we want to take the opportunities as they come along, but only if they fit into our bigger strategy, because it's very easy to be taken off on a wild goose chase all over the place, right? So what we're looking to do is, instead of giving you knowledge, we want to give instead of giving you information, we want to give you knowledge that can be applied the very next day in a very targeted and strategic manner. Okay, that is the aim of FEB 2013. And so, we're going to cut through all the bullshit and the blah, blah, blah and all the noise and everything else that's out there. And we're going to whittle this down to a very, very, very simple series of stories and systems and strategies that are going to help you, as soon as you leave the event, say, okay, I know what I need to do first, I know what I need to do second, I know what I need to do third. And yes, opportunities may pop up every now and then, and maybe you'll decide to go off on a mini wild goose chase, hopefully not, but you'll be definitely in a place where you're able to stay on track for far longer. Okay, and that's what I'm 100% committed to. That John Latok is 100% committed to that. We're not about just throwing a whole bunch of notes at you again. Okay, that's not what we want. So what we really want, what we most want for you, is that you stop. Okay, you literally just stop. If you're the kind of person who's selling workouts and nutrition, and you're selling the same as every other trainer to every other client who doesn't want what you're offering, we want you to stop, right? Because look, most workout programs are the same. Most nutrition plans are the same, okay? Nearly everyone who's going after a fat loss client is going for the same client, and they're doing it in the same way, and they're using the same marketing, okay? And then they're marketing to people who don't really want what you're offering anyway, because most of your clients don't really want fitness, and they don't really want the diet, and they don't want all of the other bits and pieces that you put together. They want something different. Okay, and we'll get to the bottom of that at the FEB event, right? And that will save you. I mean, that will save you years of time off of running around on your wild goose chases. We want you to essentially stop selling. Okay, we want you to stop selling and start to become what you're actually meant to be, right? Which is a bloody top grade coach, and a top grade coach doesn't have to sell. Okay, all a top grade coach has to do is tell the better story about what their systems and strategies do for people. Okay, and people, someone out there, might say, "Oh, that's semantics." Essentially, when you tell the story, you're selling. Well, look, selling is actively pursuing the purchase. Okay, I think there are much better ways for you to make connection and create engagement with the people that are interested in you than actually actively kind of ramming buy my shit down their throat. Okay, I think there's a very, very different way for you to do this. And this is some of the stuff that we want to be teaching you on that weekend in May. Okay, and we want you to stop doing all that dumbass shit that really isn't working for anyone anymore, right? And it's the weirdest thing in this industry that people are following people who are following people who are following people who are following people whose shit doesn't work. Okay, and yet, just like taking a photocopy, if you take a photocopy of a photocopy of a photocopy of a photocopy of a photocopy, the final photocopy that is in your hands is going to be terrible. It's going to be crap, right? Well, if you're copying people whose original idea of copying wasn't that good in the first place, and you're copying them, and they diluted it down, and the next one diluted it down, and you end up with, it's kind of like Chinese whispers, right? You end up with 10 levels down of what the original idea was, and it's been corrupted and it doesn't work anymore, and yet everyone's kind of copying everybody else's stuff. And there are people out there that aren't, they're not making any money from the ideas but they'll come on Facebook and they'll come into all the different communities and forums. Some of them even set themselves up as fitness marketing gurus, and they're making nothing, right? So they make nothing from their actual fitness business, but they set themselves up as a fitness marketing guru and say, hey, buy my shit. Does that make sense? Well, we want you to stop doing that. We want you to stop doing all that dumbass shit. We want you to start paying attention to what works. We want you to stop taking your marketing advice from people who don't love training clients and prefer instead to be marketers, right? Because there are a lot of guys out there that's what they do. They love the marketing, but they don't love being fitness coaches. They don't love being health and fitness coaches. They don't love seeing their clients win or anything else, right? If you actually peg them down and you see they might be using the title that they're a fitness professional just like you, but ask them how they spend their day. They don't look clients in the eyeballs, and they don't work with people, and they don't solve those people's problems and issues. What they do is they sit behind a desk and they produce content for you to buy that says, buy my shit because this is going to teach you how to fill your boot camp, or buy my shit because it's going to teach you how to fill your diary. Well, that's bullshit. Okay, we want you to stop taking your fitness and marketing advice from people who don't love clients. Okay, and instead start focusing on, okay, what are the people out there that really, really give a great service to their clients and who've built fantastic businesses for themselves? What are they saying? What are they doing? How do they make a difference? Okay, which one do you think is going to get you to where you want to go most likely? Is it going to be the person who's a marketer to fitness people, or is it going to be a fitness professional who knows how to kind of get their clients into the best shape possible, but much more importantly than that, give their clients an absolutely wow experience as they do it? Okay, so much of a wow experience that the clients don't need to be sold anymore because they most definitely want to buy your stuff. Okay, who would you rather be listening to? And we want you to stop running around like a headless chicken and spinning plates and juggling balls, right? And even worse, a headless chicken that spins plates and juggles balls, right? Which is exactly the kind of life that a lot of fitness professionals have got. They're doing all of this. They are being totally overwhelmed. I mean, mass overwhelm in the fitness profession at the moment because of so many different things that you're supposed to do. You're supposed to do your SEO and your Aweber and your wishlist member and your blogging and your video blogging and your God, you name it. And then you're supposed to set up all this other stuff. Is it all great? A lot of it can be brilliant, but wouldn't it be better to actually be doing each one as part of a strategy than running around like a headless chicken? Okay, we think so, and that's really what we want to share with you. So if that sounds appealing to you, then the FEB 2013 is going to be right up your alley. It's going to be perfect, right? Because we're doing things very different. It's laid out, the whole event is actually laid out like a book. Okay, so you think when you purchase a book, you don't get like random chapters just dotted together, right? There's a flow. Here's chapter 1, here's the start, here's the problem, what do we do about it, why does it exist? Here's chapter 2, here's some of the things that you can do to mitigate the problem and start bringing about positive change. Here's chapter 3 and chapter 4 and chapter 5. And by the time you get to the end of it, the book should have told a whole story. Okay, well, fitness marketing events tend not to do that. They just throw a mishmash of ideas at you. Okay, and then it's up to you to wonder how you're supposed to put that jigsaw together. And there are people out there that will tell you that it doesn't really matter as long as you do them all at some point. Well, to be honest, that's bullshit, right? Imagine that as kind of cooking a recipe. Imagine kind of cooking a cake, baking a cake or something, right? It doesn't matter what order you cook things in. It doesn't matter what order you mix the ingredients. Try making your icing first, and then sticking it on the cake before you stick it in the oven, and see what comes out as a result of that, right? There's definitely a sequence. There's a sequence to success, and that's why the whole event has been laid out in this book-like sequence, because we want to guide you through it. And we want to say, hey guys, when you leave here, the first thing you have to do is this. The second thing you have to do is that. The third thing you have to do is this. Okay, and basically you're going to leave with a ready-made sequence. And even better than that, you're going to be taking part in making live changes to your business while you are at the event. Because the event isn't just us speaking from stage and pontificating from on high about this is how you should do things. The event is also going to be part workshop. There are going to be some things that you actually change while you're there at the event. Okay, some things that you're going to do that are going to actually mean that by the time you go back to work on Monday, they've already been done. Okay, sounds impossible at the moment, doesn't it? But it's not going to be. And I think you're going to be very, very surprised at just how easy some of the changes are going to be. Okay. So basically, it's not going to be an all-over-the-place mishmash. It's going to be a strategic event designed to take you to a specific outcome. So what is that outcome? Well, the outcome is essentially it's your success. It's your freedom, right? Because most fit pros are chained to their businesses. Their businesses own them, right? most fit pros are their business's bitch. Right? That's really what it comes down to. Your business tells you when you can take a vacation. Your business tells you when you can take a day off. Your business tells you whether you should be doing extra appointments today or whether you should take on this client that you don't really like and everything else. That's not freedom. That's a form of slavery. What we really most want is that you own your business. Free and clear, it's yours. Because ultimately what we want is that your business is able to provide you with happiness. That you are so proud, you're over the moon, you absolutely bang smack in love with your business. That's what we want for you. Okay, and that's what we're committed to creating for you. And so, you know, on the 25th, 26th of May this year in Birmingham, that's what we're going to be delivering. Okay, a 2-day event where we absolutely rip apart, dismantle, disconnect, and then, you know, like the $6 million man. If anyone's anywhere near my age, you'll know the $6 million man. We can rebuild him, right? The idea that we can rip the guts out of your businesses live there at the event. Okay, tell you everything that's not working, and then build it back in a way that is going to make the most sense for you. And this isn't just a one-size-fits-all thing. Okay, we can actually adapt the message to make sure that your particular business is going to get exactly what it needs. So look, I mean, this is going to feel, you know, in many respects, it's going to feel like coaching as opposed to just being at an event, which is, well, this has been John and I's kind of outlook all along. We wanted people to feel that almost like they'd paid to join my $10,000 coaching program. That's exactly how I wanted it to feel for you guys. I wanted you to kind of leave there and think, wow, okay, I've got exactly what I need to go away and make a huge difference. Okay, so look, the end result of this video, in some ways, I guess, is asking you to buy our shit, right? Because it's going to be very good shit. You are going to like the shit that we provide. I make no bones about that. I would love to see you at the event. I would love to see that event, you know, in the days and weeks immediately following it. You know, I would love to see the Facebook post saying, got another success, got another success, got another success, got another success, right? That's what I'm in search of. I'm in search of stories of success, stories of happiness, stories of freedom, and I know John is too. So, look, it really comes down to this. If what I've just said, if what's just come out of my mouth, assuming you believe me and that you trust me, if what I've just said is coming out of my mouth has actually turned you on a bit to the idea of you could make 2013 an absolutely outstanding year, then we would like you to buy our shit. Okay, there's a big button straight, you know, directly beneath this video that all you've got to do is click on it, and you get your place guaranteed at the event, and it's going to be an absolutely bloody fantastic event. And we've got a whole bunch of bolt-ons. We've got, for those, we've got like a dinner. We've got, or at least we've got an event, and we've got you know, a great social going on. We've got like an awards ceremony. We've got, oh man, we've got so much, and we've even got extra bolt-on days of coaching and things like that for people that want to actually sit down and have us go over their stuff. But you know, that button below is just the base entry to the program, right? And all you've got to do is click on that, and I promise you that 2013 is going to be different because of that one decision. Okay, now it's up to you what you do next, right? But you know, I would say that this is probably one of the best things that you could do for yourself this year. What's in it for you? Well, what's in it for you is massive change. Okay, massive change. A strategic program that's going to help you to gain your success, gain your freedom, gain your happiness. So if that sounds sexy to you, the button straight below here, go ahead, buy our shit. I hope to see you at the event. Take care.